going to tell you something about the Trump meme coin that nobody else is talking about. So, I'm a person who knows a little something about investing, and I understand the mindset, and I can explain to you why this graph looks the way it does and what it tells us about the difference between the elites and the influencer class versus the audiences, right? You see this right here? This surge in costs or price. Now, left-wing media folks, a lot of people who don't really know much about investing and definitely don't know much about crypto, will tell you this is all fraudulent and scam and pulling the rug and whatever. And to some degree, they're correct. I'm pretty sure there's some level of scam and pump and dump going on here for sure. But that doesn't fully explain what you're seeing here and what you see afterwards. This, to me, is the best visual representation of something I've talked about a lot on my channel about the separation between the elites at the top, the influencer class, and the audiences, right? So you have the billionaire class, you have the one percenters, right? Corporate interests, right? And then you also have the Republican Party, the elites in the Republican Party, right? And then you have their mouthpieces. So you have right-wing media. So the Tim Pools, the Ben Shapiros, the Steven Crowders, right? So you have all this group of people, very, very wealthy people, right? They're all together living in a universe which surprisingly has a lot of overlap with the world that the folks in left-wing media live. Like now, they would never admit that, right? But the reality is they live in somewhat of a shared reality with the folks in left-wing media. They just pretend otherwise in terms of their rhetoric and their content, right? I talk about that a lot on my channel, right? So you have that group of people, very powerful people, and on the other side, you have the audience, just regular conservatives, right? Regular Trump supporters and regular MAGA. They're isolated, they're on their own, right? They're listening to people who are not with them, don't think like them, don't agree with them. And that's what this graph shows. So let me tell you something. If I had money to spare, I would have absolutely considered if I could get in as, if I was following this, I knew he was going to drop it so I could get in immediately. I would absolutely consider making an investment in this meme stock, right? And the reason why is I also understand what Tim Pool, Ben Shapiro, the Republican Party, the billionaires, I understand what they understand, right? And that is that MAGA is a cult, right? So that means this thing is going to surge. Whatever Trump is selling, they're going to buy. He could say whatever and they're going to fall for it, right? So there's a lot of suckers that are going to buy into this, which is going to push the price up, right? But the difference comes in to where myself and Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder and the Republican Party, all these elites, like myself, understand that Trump's a clown. They pretend otherwise, right? I'm the one being honest about it, right? But they don't believe the stuff they're telling you every day about how great Trump is and Trump's a genius, and they don't really believe that. And this is proof of it. If they believed that, this wouldn't be looking like this, right? The reason this looks like this is because they invested in this. Many of them invested in this the same way I would, knowing that Trump's a clown, knowing that Trump's a buffoon, knowing that you don't want to be to the moon, diamond hands on Trump, right? That's a losing proposition, right? Trump is all hype and smoke and mirrors, right? That'll get you these quick short-term gains, right? But you want to get in and get out. That's what I would do. I wouldn't be holding anything Trump-related, right? Trump sneakers, that's something I would have bought, right? If I had the money to throw away, I would have bought those sneakers. I wouldn't have hold on to them, though. I would definitely buy that. I would buy the meme coin. And as soon as I make some little level of profit, I'm out. I'm out, right? And this shows that I'm not the only person thinking that way. This shows that the people with the big money, the people at the top, they know how much of a clown Donald Trump is. They're not really willing to put their money where their mouths are. So they bought in, made their profits, and then ran for the hills. And then all this, you know what this is? This is MAGA, right? This is MAGA yet again being left out in the cold by conservative media, right? The traitorous conservative media that betrays conservatives all the time, lies to them, right? Pretends to, oh, Trump is great, whatever, all that bullshit, man. If they believed like MAGA did, this stock wouldn't be looking like this, right? This is, you could talk all the talk you want online, but when it comes to your money, ain't nobody got time to be playing no games with their money. They ain't playing no MAGA bullshit with no money. Right, all them people you see on the news, all those Fox anchors, I'm pretty sure a lot of them bought this meme stock. They won't admit it, but they probably did. This is them. This is all the Fox News hosts, all those right-wing influencers. This is them. They probably even hyped up the meme stock as well. They were involved in the pump either officially or unofficially, right? I wouldn't go that far. I would, on my own, buy it and then run. But they probably went further and like hyped it up. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of money. Right? And then they silently sell their positions, right? Close out. And that's this. Now, unfortunately, in my view, I would put good money that there's a certain group of elites very close to Trump that were a little bit more precise in this because they probably had insider trading information. Trump probably let certain allies know when to buy and when to sell. And I'm sure that's part of this, right? Because not everybody would have been in that loop, though. The rest of the people, they just know better. The second that they hit buy, they were already thinking, you know, when am I going to sell? Right? Like I would. That's what I would have done. The second I hit buy, it's like it was a hot potato, right? This shows you that all the people promoting Trump, all the millionaire influencers, YouTubers, right, the GOP people, the you know, these folks on Twitter with a big following, right? All those people, this is where they're at, right? This is what they believe. This is what they think about Trump, right? And then the people that they talk to, their audiences, this is you guys being left out in the cold, right? You paid, what, $40, $60 for something that's only worth $14. Look at all the stuff that's happening right now with Donald Trump. All the executive orders and gutting this and ISIS deporting people and all of that, right? He's putting all of his loyalists in control. So why would a meme stock based on him be going down at the same time? That tells you that there's a lot of bullshitters out there, right? That don't really believe the things they're saying. And it's not just the elites, by the way. There's some people who are poor, who want to be rich, who might be online making YouTube videos or content, trying to be a content creator, right? MAGA, 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 right? Wearing the red hat. There might be some poor people who are also trying to get into this group, right? However, it's a big club and they're not in it. So they might be looking at some of this. But I think a smaller group of those, right? I think most of the ones who are poor, who are promoting Trump, like the elites, they know better. So either they bought and they sold already, right? Or they have a position so small it doesn't matter to them. They'll just let it sit there and whatever happens, happens. But the people who are really taking the losses, it's their audience, it's their followers. That's what you're looking at on the screen. The truth about Donald Trump. That's what this line is. And while they hold, while they wait, while they cling to hope, Trump and his allies are living through a golden age. Not the one he promised them, but the one built on their backs. His wealth exploding, his brand is stronger than ever. The people who tell you to hold the line aren't in the trenches with you. They're out cashing in. The ones who pumped this coin already sold, already moved on to the next hustle. They made millions while you were left standing, holding the empty bag. Trump allies, his circle, his influencers, they're doing just fine. They have their legal bills covered. They have the best healthcare money can buy. They're securing their future, their kids' future, building generational wealth off the very people who still believe in them. But you're being left out in the cold again. And the saddest part, most of them would never be caught dead wearing that red hat in public. They'd never fly that flag on their mansions, never put that bumper sticker on their Lamborghinis, because they don't believe in Trump the way you do. They just believe in the money. And the chart tells the whole story. Their part is over. They've got in, they've got out. But you're still holding, still waiting, still hoping. And if history has shown us anything, it's that hope, real, desperate hope, is always the easiest thing to sell right before they leave you behind. Get all the rhetoric, forget all the stuff people are saying. Follow the money. Always follow the money.